Giving you guys a 2 for today with the last day of OTAs. Let's jump into this Mamma Jam. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, you are getting a 2 for today. If you haven't, go check out the video I put out earlier today. Alex Rollins put out a fantastic video breaking down why Tua struggled. I did a reaction to it. You guys really like the reaction videos. Go check that one out. And in this video, it's the last day of OTAs, and the media was available. So I got a little tidbits here for you. Then we're going to talk about Brian Flores and Will Fuller. They did a press conference, so I'm going to give you a little tidbits from that interview. We all know that Brian Flores loves to give us some information, and then we get to comment of the day. But before we jump into that good stuff, and yes, I did timestamp because some of you guys really don't like the fact that I thank members and other things. But I got to thank some new members: Stefan Hutchins, Justin Divini, and Ivan Ulysses. I hope I said your name, Ivan Ulysses. I hope I said your last name correctly because I was kind of proud of myself for getting that one. Thank you guys so much for joining the membership. If you want to join the membership, just hit that join button next to the subscribe button. You get little perks. Ton of nice little perks. Same thing with the Patreon. One other thing, the Backroom Collection. If you didn't watch my video earlier, go watch it. They sent me this. And it's fantastic. Go to their Facebook page. I'll link it in the description, or even hit them up on Twitter. I'll pop it up, their Twitter, on one of the sides. They make fantastic art. This is canvas. Fantastic stuff. They do every NFL player. They do every NFL, NBA, MLB, whatever you want, they do it. If you use the promo code DDW, you get yourself 10% off. So go hit them up. Go get yourself some fantastic art. Just like Patch Vibes. And if you use the promo code DDW, you get 20% off there. Both these guys do fantastic work. Patch Vibes has the patches, t-shirts, all that stuff. Backroom Collectibles has fantastic art. Go check it out. So also, real quick, little tidbit. Miami Dolphins, Jalen Phillips, signed him a few days ago. So we only have 3 left. Javon Holland, Eichenberg, and Jake Long are the only ones that are left to be signed. So let's talk about the last day of OTAs. I got little tidbits, like I said. Here's some things that are non-play related. Tua's not wearing his hoodie today. I know you guys were like, who gives a flip, Doug? I just thought that was interesting. No Gesicki, no Shaheen, and no Pilardi, the punter. Thought that was interesting. But again, this is voluntary OTAs. This isn't, mandatory mini camp. And I'll talk about that because, we'll get to the press conference. But Brian Flores says he expects Agba and Xavier Howard to be here for mandatory minicamp, which starts on the 15th, Tuesday. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that all pans out. Give you a little tidbits of what's going on the field. Jakeem Grant drops a pass across the middle from Tua. I know, you're going to hear it in the comments section. Shouldn't even be on the team anymore. I'm not going to disagree. Tua has a little bit of an overthrow to Devontae Parker. Preston Williams was out there briefly, but he's mostly doing rehab work. He's on the side trying to get back into the groove of things. No 11 on 11s. They were doing a lot of 7 on 7s. And what's the difference is, defense and offensive line. And the DBs were playing very loose. They weren't playing tight, no jamming, none of that stuff. Foster, that speedy, tall receiver we got, had a couple of nice catches across the middle from Tua. Maybe Foster stays, Grant goes. There's a possibility there. And I'm hearing from offensive line situation that the Dolphins really want Eichenberg and Hunt to be the right tackle, right guard. And I'm hearing that the front runner for left guard is not Solomon Kinley, but it is Jesse Davis. Solomon Kinley seems to be competing and a potential backup. And for the center position, Skura, Dieter, and Cameron Tom supposedly are in equal competition for that starting position. And Dieter seems to be the one who's getting a ton of opportunity to prove it there. But again, they can't report who's taking snaps where and all that stuff. So this is all speculation. And then finally, they ended the OTAs with Raekwon Davis. They're all singing him happy birthday. And they really noticed that Tua and Waddle connection was it like they never left playing Alabama together. Really, like Tua knows where he's going to be, throws it there. I'm hearing really look out for that connection between Tua and Waddle. Very, very fun. So that is essentially what I got for you for the last OTAs. Like I said, on Tuesday, minicamp will be starting, and it is mandatory minicamp. So this is when if Xavier Howard doesn't show up, if Emmanuel Ogbah doesn't show up, if whoever doesn't show up, if it is not a physical issue, if they are not injured, which again might be a little bit of a red flag, then it is a holdout situation. So we will see how that all pans out. But again, we're going to talk about the press conference earlier before they went on the field with Brian Flores. And he says, I expect everyone at the mandatory minicamp, like you mentioned, it's voluntary. So we've got a good number of guys here. I would say over the last few weeks, we've been happy with it, and we're happy to work with these guys that we have and get them coached up, help them improve, and get them back to their fundamentals, their techniques, their communication, things of that nature. So like I said, and I'm trying my hardest to fight a sneeze right now, because if I sneeze once, I'm going to sneeze 500 times. If certain players don't show up next week, then you're like, I think they're holding out. I think they're holding out for a contract extension. This is something that I heard, and it's very interesting, and I want to bring it up. Again, I'm not going to talk about every little single thing. So if you want to watch their press conferences, go to their YouTube channel and check it out. But they do talk about Noah Igbenogany here, and they ask him about Noah. And he says, I think Gerald Alexander, the defensive backs coach, was right in that Noah played predominantly on the perimeter last year. I think in itself, in this league, it's not easy. So it was stick him in one position, let him learn the techniques, the fundamentals, feel the speed, feel the quickness of the receivers, go through the different combinations that happen in different coverages. And once you feel more comfortable in that specific role, then this year, obviously, will feel like he's ready to move and at least take some snaps inside. Versatility is important to our team, so we're going to move guys around, not just Noah, but really everyone in that corner room, in the secondary, really across the board. As far as what it takes to play inside, I think it's obvious: speed, quickness, and the ability to tackle. Very important, the ability to tackle, because you're playing really close at the line of scrimmage. I think those guys who have played the nickel position end up in the run fits a little bit more than the guys on the perimeter. Exactly. So just an understanding of fronts and what's happening in front of you, more opportunities to blitz than just from a coverage standpoint. You don't have sidelines, so they can go inside. They can go outside as well. I'll talk more. Let me just finish reading this. You don't have that as an extra defender or a place you can keep or push either a receiver or two. It's tough playing in there. It's not easy, and from a mental standpoint, there is a lot going on. So as many guys as we can get to play inside and play different roles. I think Nick Needham has grown into that role. Justin Coleman has played that position in the past, and Jamal Perry as well. We're just going to continue to train and help them improve, grow. And I think a lot of times, if you could play inside, you've played outside, and you understand what's happening as a corner to the inside corner. If you have that kind of understanding when you're making calls and those guys are working tougher, there's a little bit more of, hey, I know what you're going through. I've been in that spot, and oftentimes it works better. Geez, that was a paragraph to read, and I apologize if you fell asleep while I was reading it. But he said some really good things here. Now, it seems like they're trying to slowly transition Noah Igbenogany to learn the slot position. Obviously, like he said, you're going to be playing all the different positions, and you're going to be playing everywhere in this defense, unless you're a giant man-child, and then we'll trade you to the Steelers. But he made very good, valid points. When you're playing on the boundary, you could just use the sideline as your defender. You know, I have an extra defense to my left if you're, well, it depends on which side you're looking. But essentially, you have the sideline to your left. That's an extra defender. If you're on the opposite side, I got the sideline to my right. And you can jam your wide receiver and direct him more towards that side, kind of like a gunner when you want to just get him out of bounds. So but in the slot, they can go either way. And then you also, like he said, have to be aware of blitzing, aware of the run, aware of a lot of things. So he brought up, Nick Needham, Coleman, Perry, and now Noah. With that versatility, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him competing for that slot corner position. They asked him about Draval Neto, and he has not seen the field, but he's been on the team for a while because he's that exemption on the practice squad. And they ask him what's his expectations for him in 2021. He says he's one of the hardest working players. It's very important to him that he improves and gets better at whatever technique fundamental that he's working on. I think he's talented. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. I think he's still learning the game, but I also think he's made a lot of improvements over the last couple of years. I'm excited to see him in training camp, obviously today, and then the veteran mini camp and the training camp and preseason games. He'll have an opportunity to compete, and I think he'll do well. We'll see. We'll see if he can, get on the field because he's been on the team for a minute and they just keep stashing him away on the practice squad. And the fact that no one else is claiming him off the practice squad might also say something else about what other people think of him. They asked him about, the fact that you had 10 wins last year as a success, but, missed the playoffs. And he says, I think we still we're more focused on this year. Last year was last year. And I agree, and I'm sticking to that. The video earlier today, I was sucked into it. No more talk about last year. I'm probably going to talk about last year. Don't listen to me. It was a different team, different players. We were in a pandemic. It was a different season. It was very different. One more time, different. The focus right now is this year and really today. That's kind of where we're at, trying to improve today, trying to get better today. And if we string enough good days together, hopefully we put ourselves in a position to be successful. It's what it's all about. I don't know why I couldn't get that phrase out, but yeah, he's not going to sit here and be like, oh, we're going to be a 12, 13 win team and you all can suck my butt and this and just play your hardest and string them together and hopefully you make the playoffs. But I think the Dolphins are going to win 10, 11 games this year. But that's what Brian Flores had to say. Those aren't everything. Like I said, those are just things that stuck out to me. So if you want to go listen to more of what he had to say, go check it out. Real quick, we're going to listen to Will Fuller. Like I said, this is stuff that I take out, but I'm just going to give you an example of things that I don't read or talk about. They ask him, what do you want to be addressed as? Will Fuller, William Fuller the fifth. And he says, you can just call me Will. I'm not going to, that's why a lot of times it's cut up. This is cut up because I'm scrolling through trying to find something important that they say, not, hey, what is your favorite pack of bubble gum? And, Big Red, who gives two flips about that? So that's why I cut it up. So this one's interesting. They asked him, this is his first time being a free agent. And they asked him, what does he think? What's his impression of the Dolphins before signing? All this stuff. He says, this is my first free agency, so I just took it as I wanted to go to a team that wanted me. The Dolphins showed the most interest. That's why I chose the Dolphins. And of course, I know we have a great team here and we continue to do great things. Ever since I've been here, it's great. I love the culture here. It's been easy to be here. And like I said, I've been in the building as much as I can. I enjoy being here, so I'm happy the Dolphins decided to take a chance on me. It's very politically correct. And then I'm just the last thing, he talks about Jalen Waddle and speed and everything. He says you can't teach speed, and we do have that on this team. That's just not me and Waddle. There are other players with speed too. Foster, Grant, if he stays on the team, there are other speedy guys on the team. It's going to be fun. We'll see. We're going to do what the coaches ask of us, and we're going to be playing fast and make some stuff happen. He talks about other things, being in the fold of things and financial, and it's just stuff that isn't predominant and whatever to football. So I try to not talk about it, but I'm excited to see what Will Fuller can do. I'm very excited to see what this team can do. If you haven't watched my video from before with Alex Rollins, go watch it, because he even talks about how the team last year was built for Fitz and the team this year is built for Tua. And it's two different offenses now, and one is predicated more towards Fitz and this one is predicated more towards Tua. So it's going to be very interesting, but be sure to comment below. What do you think of what Flores had to say? I didn't give you much of what Will Fuller had to say, but what do you think of this team? What do you think of the OTAs? What do you think of the connection of Tua and Waddle? Comment below, and I'm going to get to one of your guys' comments of the day. Now, this one comes from Jay Leonidas. You'll see it pop up. I can't pronounce names. And he said, comment of the day, what single player do you think will make the biggest impact this season? It's a very good question. Now, it could go either way. Biggest impact as they do the best or biggest impact as they need to do the best. Because for me, the biggest impact is Austin Jackson. He struggled last year, and he needs to show the improvement, the same exact improvement we want from Tua, we need to see from Austin Jackson, because that offensive line is incredibly important to the success of the offense. Yes, you could say, well, what about Tua? If he has no time to throw, if there is no running game, they all focus on the pass, they shut it down, we lose, a.k.a. Buffalo Bills game, a.k.a. Kansas City Chiefs game. A lot of people want to blame Tua for those losses, but there was no run game in those games. So the defense just had to stop the pass, get after Tua, concentrate on one thing, makes it hard to move the ball around. So for me, the biggest impact this season is Austin Jackson. He needs to do better, but who I think is going to do the best, I'm going to say Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller is going to have a ridiculously good season. But thank you for the comment. I hope I answered your comment. I gave you a two-parter on that one. But yes, like I said earlier, check out patchvibes.com. Get yourself some great patches, t-shirts. Use the promo code DDW. It's got some fantastic stuff over there. They got the Waddle patches. If you have a Tannehill jersey, you don't want to spend the money on a new Waddle patch, check out Miami Sports Music. Fantastic site, YouTube channel over there. Like I said, I might go live tomorrow night. We'll see how the day goes. And, I have to take the baby to the doctor for her shot. So we'll see how the day goes. But I'm going to try to go live tomorrow night at 9. And I have a ton of videos planned. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for helping me break 24,000 subs. I can't believe I'm at 24,000. I remember celebrating 1,000 not too long ago. I want to truly thank you guys. Go check out Backroom. Get yourself some fantastic stuff. Use DDW. Get yourself 10% off. Other than that, I might see you tomorrow, but if not, I'll definitely see you Monday. But like usual, stay classy. I fins out.